Hello, 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 everybody. We are back again, and this is officially our first episode. What you guys saw last week was our pilot. So, this is our first episode of Gag On It with Queen Sharon and Jameer. You guys know who I am. I'm Queen Sharon, Queen of the Messy Report. I cover the mess so you don't have to stress.
All right, and I'm your boy Jameer. I'm here, happy to be in the presence of the Queen. We're gonna get into it.
All right, so we have an exciting show for you guys today. We have a guest that we are going to interview, and we're going to let you guys know a little bit more about that guest a little bit later. I'm going to leave you guys eating your popcorn and hanging on to your seats and waiting to figure out what we're about to pull out of our hat for you guys. But first, let me get into the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards. Okay, my trip to Cali. Okay. Now, at first, I was already excited when I got the invite from Jason Lee to come to the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards. And I was so excited to go on this trip to see Jason in his element. However, I was not aware that it would be I knew it would be powerful. I didn't know it would be as powerful as it was. So, let me just take you guys on a little trip. Come in closer with me. Come in closer with me, and let me explain to you and bring you on the trip with me. So I get on the plane. I'm sitting there. I got one guy leaning on my shoulder, the other guy leaning on my shoulder, but I'm like, it's okay because I'm going to Cali. I get off the plane Friday morning, the day of the award show, and I hop in go to the hotel. I get in an Uber. I go get my makeup done. I go have some lunch at a little bistro that was across the street from where I got my makeup done. I go back to the hotel, get ready, and then I go to the award show. When I get out of my Uber, I'm glad I rode up there in an Uber and not drove up there in my car, but I get out of the Uber and it's all these fancy cars, somebody there to open my door for me. I walk in, I sign in, my name on the list, and then I go. And there's a red carpet. And who do I see to the right? No one other but then the Jennifer Lewis. And for those of you who don't know who Jennifer Lewis is, she is the mother of Hollywood. She is an iconic figure in Hollywood. She played the one of the aunts in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She was the mother in What's Love Got to Do with It. She was just talking to us and like we were normal people and enjoying and laughing and having a good time. So we did the red carpet. There were hors d'oeuvres coming to us on these fancy plates and little tacos and little ice cream cones filled with sushi. There was so many things that was going on. And then we go into where they're having the event at, and the event was set up so beautiful. There were so many flowers. It was amazing. I think we have pictures, Raekwon, right? So let's show some of the pictures of what it looked like there. We have some of the flowers. This is the flowers that was there, you guys, in the middle of the table. So these flower arrangements were huge, towering over our heads, and there were flowers on all the tables. There was flowers everywhere. They served us dinner. There was a chef and they served us dinner. We had a 3-course meal and a nice salad, and then we had some Greek food, chicken and couscous and stuff like that. Not that. That's another picture though. It's okay. It's all right, Raekwon. It's okay. But that's another picture. So we went to we had that, and then we had, now you can show the dessert one, the chocolate cake one. This is some of the food, picture of the food. This is how fancy it was, you guys. I didn't even want to eat it, but I did. And it was delicious, of course. And then while doing this, we got to watch the ceremony of people to come up and accept these awards, like Floyd Mayweather, Tiffany Haddish hosted. There was a surprise guest, Gag. Mariah Carey came out. Mariah Carey came out and gagged us all. That's Tiffany Haddish and Mariah Carey right there. Took in with my phone because they were right there. Okay. So Mariah Carey, Tiffany Haddish. Okay. Lizzo was there. Of course, Jason Lee was dressed down to the T. He was dressed for the gods, you guys. I think we got a picture of Jason too. Do we have a picture of Jason, Raekwon? Okay, that's a picture of me, Jason, and Amber Lynn. Yes, that's a picture of me, Jason, and Amber Lynn. Jason was dressed down to the T, to the gods, you guys. Let's see what else. It was so empowering to hear the stories. You heard stories of people that overcame so many obstacles in their life, like Jennifer Lewis, like Floyd Mayweather, like Jason Lee. You got to hear it. It was so powerful. The energy was so moving. Just being in that room and seeing that we were sitting at a table where Michael Jackson had sat two tables away from us and accepted, one of his Grammys. Whitney Houston. I mean, it just it you could feel the history coming out of the walls. We really did. We laughed, we enjoyed, we had a good time, and not only that, after that, they took us to church, y'all. They took us to church, and we cried, and we were crying at the end. And then after we got done crying at the end, we took our fast asses in there and we shook our ass and we partied. Okay. So when we was partying, I partied with Jason's staff. We got pictures of that. Let's show those pictures. If we can put those pictures up, Raekwon, some of the people that I partied with. This, you guys, is Armand. Yes, I ran into Armand. You guys know Armand. Okay. We did a show with him on Gagging with Jason Lee. So when he was the co-host, not the co-host, but the host, the guest host, and we co-hosted with him. This is some of Jason's staff or team. Andrew, amazing man. Who else do we have, Raekwon? Who else we got back there? Okay, DJ Damage didn't play a bad song all night. You see, I was sweating up in that bitch because your girl was dancing. I was definitely doing my ones and my twos. And it don't help that he's sexy like that too. But anyway, my Gag Nation family, it's me, Christy, Noah, Tay, Amber Lynn. We was partying in our own little section. What else do we have? We have anything else? Who else we got? It was so much stuff going on, you guys. I don't even know what all pictures we have. I have so many pictures, tons and tons of pictures. So yeah, it was Jameer. I know that you couldn't come. I know that you were going to come. You were there all the way up to the last minute. It was coming, and then you missed your flight.
Yes, my flight had actually, my flight had actually got canceled because we had bad weather the day before, and it was canceled for that. On top of low staff and everything. So yeah, I got to watch it all on Instagram, and I still to this day like, oh my God, I wish I was there. But it helps to know that you had a good time because I was rooting you on. Like, well, make sure you go in there and you represent, and it also helped the fact that Jason didn't hold it against me that I couldn't come. He understood with the flights and everything going on right now. So I'm just happy that everything happened the way it did. It looked amazing. And I just can't wait until, the next thing so we can, all link up and go there together. But look like you had a great time, Queen.
I did have a good time, and it didn't stop there. I continued the next day. Went to a little pool party. I think we got pictures of that. Went to a pool party. Was able to go in the VIP, sip my little pina colada and, watch the view and listen to good music. And then we went to Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant, Pump. Okay, here's the picture of the restaurant right here. Delicious food. Even the food was sexy. The food looked rich. So did the prices. The prices was rich too. But the food definitely looked rich. That's the picture right there. Can we put that back up on the screen, Raekwon? That went kind of quickly. Yes. Now, see, let me tell you guys about this dish. See, I had to really savor this dish. I don't know if anybody knows what tuna tartare is, but I love tuna tartare. And they put it on these crispy. Raekwon, put the picture back up. Put the picture back up, Raekwon. They put it on these crispy wontons. Okay. Then it was topped with mangoes and avocados and pomegranate and a balsamic vinegar glaze. Y'all know I'm a chef. I'm a foodie. So I know exactly, how it was made. But it was delicious. And because my mouth is watering just talking about it, but it was delicious. It was worth every penny that was paid for it. So if you guys do go to California and you are in the Beverly Hills area, I would suggest that you guys go by Pump because it really was a good restaurant. It was a great experience. I had a 100% 1000%. It was a great trip. And I was so humbled and so thankful for the fact that Jason gave me that opportunity. He never forgets to reach back and to pull us up there with him. He's always thinking about us, he's always supporting us. And he's just such a great, wonderful, humble guy. And I just feel so blessed to know him, to call him my friend, and to be able to spend time with him. So I look forward to going back out there. Okay, Raekwon, you can take it off the screen. You can take it off the screen. So speaking of Hollywood, speaking of Beverly Hills, I'm not going to keep you guys on the edge of your seat anymore. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest that we're going to interview today. His name is Gallo, okay, also known as the guy you know. Now, Gallo is known, he has definitely interviewed quite a few celebrities, to say the least. Now, when I say that, I am really being modest with saying that. He has quite a resume. He's interviewed a lot of people, such as Mariah Carey, Ashanti, Beyonce, Kanye West. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And we'll talk to him about what all who all he's interviewed, who all he's talked to, who all he's met, and we can really get into it and see also if we can maybe get some juicy information and find out, if there's anything that he wants to let us know that may have happened that may be just a little bit juicy, maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, let's welcome our guest, you guys. Gallo, welcome Gallo to the show, everybody.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, Jameer, I know that you actually knew Gallo, before me. This is actually my first time meeting Gallo. Now, I've done my research on Gallo, and I am so excited to be able to speak to him and to be able to do this interview with him. And I am so grateful and humble that you took the time and the opportunity to allow us to do this with you, Gallo. But Jameer, so I know that you were already communicating with Gallo, so I'll turn it over to you. And why don't you let us know how you met Gallo and got in contact with him?
For sure. So I know that randomly Gallo definitely, popped up on my Instagram feed. I don't know how or where, but I know that he randomly popped up on my Instagram feed, and he's obviously in the industry that we are pursuing right now, with us wanting to be, commentators and, entertainment reporters and stuff like that. So anybody who's doing that, I tend to follow, and I'm, follow people for inspiration and, just to, see what it's like and everything, especially when they are in a way regular people like us, So I know for me, I look through his pictures and I'm like, he with this person, that person, oh my, this person, like it was so many different people that I was in awe, like, wow, who is this guy? So I instantly followed him, and normally I didn't expect to follow back, because I feel like I'm kind of starting up and everything, but he actually followed me back and everything. I'm like, wow. He followed me back and everything. So, I will always kind of look through his stories and, see the different things he's doing and everything. And be like, yo, you're so inspirational, like I plan to, touch the celebrities or, meet the celebrities you meet and everything. So I know for me, it was more so from admiration and everything. And, he's very humble and would always, converse back with me and just tell me much about his grind and everything. But, enough about all that and everything. Gallo, for those who may not know you, could you let us know? Can you let them know who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Sure. So I'm Nick Gallo. I go by Gallo, the guy you know. Born and raised Chicago. Yeah, I can't get enough of Chi-Town. I'm not gonna lie. I've made my way to LA. I moved to LA for a little. Had to move back because some stuff. I miss LA at times, but I don't. Yeah, I'm an entertainment reporter. Strictly independent. I would love to get picked up by a right network or a right brand if the deal was right. Because I'm very a one-man show. I do everything on my own for the most part, except a videographer in person. But otherwise, everything is my own. Like my own connections, my own bookings, my own interviews, my own editing, my own promo. Everything is me with a daytime job as well. Full-time day job and doing this. So, like you said, I'm a normal person. I'm still grinding. Like I feel like I have even met halfway of where I want to be, to be honest.
Okay. Well, that's interesting, and that's interesting that you bring that up when you were saying because you also work. So you have a very impressive archive. So I've looked at your page, I've looked at your Instagram page, and I mean I stayed on there for a while because the pictures keep going and going and going, and I'm like Ashanti, Diana Ross. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, and I know that you also are a manager at a dental implant facility, correct?
Yeah, so that's the day job. So I got to pay the rent, and I'm not one of them people. Yeah, you have to take leaps in, you got to take leaps in life, but you got to make sure you have a place to stay. Just
Right.
like when I moved to LA, I had a job previously before the one I currently have, and they let me work remote. So I was really working from my bedroom during the day, and then going out in LA and finding like I get into
And see, that's what I
later.
was going to ask you because it with everything that's on your Instagram page alone, it seems that that's a busy life. And I was going to ask you, how do you balance the two? Like, are there days where you're just exhausted? Because when do you sleep?
Uh, Not a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, but the thing is, I feel like if you think it's tiring or you think it's not worth it, it's not for you. I don't care what anyone says. And I can't stand the one thing I really can't stand about this industry. Be honest. Like I'm stating right now, I have a day job. You gotta pay bills. Like until you could get that job in the entertainment industry. Don't get me wrong. If I had an entertainment industry full-time job, at least minimum 75K with full benefits and PTO, okay, I'll be in business. But until I get to
Okay.
that point, I'm not doing that. So
Right.
I always try to tell people like be honest. You don't have to fake it. You could fake it till you make it a little, but I mean, you got to have a day job or something, unless you're doing something illegal. Then I understand. Um, but yeah, I stay grinding. I mean, at one point I was going to broadcasting school, a 9 to 5 broadcasting school, 3 days a week from what was it, 6 to 10 at night, interning at a radio station 2 days a week,
Wow.
as well as having a second job on the weekends. So I would just find sleep literally when I can, to be honest.
Right.
'Cause I was like, hey, some of these opportunities, even during COVID, I had a daytime job and I was doing interviews, on IG Live on my breaks, on my lunch break. I would tell my boss, like, hey, can I get like a 20-minute break? I just got to do this quick 15-minute interview and I promise I'll be back. I'm on the clock. I just need, yeah, give me a bathroom break, not a cigarette break and an interview break. Um,
Right.
but yeah,
Right.
I made it work anyway. For there's a will, there's a way, I feel like. And, if I love it, so I make it work, even though it's exhausting, but I love it. So
Okay.
Listen, yeah, when you love it, it doesn't feel like a job. So that's the good part. I'm inspired by everything you just said. Honestly, like, I need to work a little harder. But I want to ask you this question, Gallo. Can you tell us who and what inspired you to pursue a career in media?
to be honest, when I was young, I was always that kid at the TV watching, TRL 106 in Park, buying music videos on the box and having my mom yell at me the month later when she had $18 worth of 99 cents for music video charges on her telephone bill. And I was always enamored with like music, but I was that kid kind of at like my mom and dad tell me at a young age, rather than going to like the toy store, I want to go to like Sam Goody, Tower
Mm.
Records, Virgin Megastore. I was buying my cassettes and CDs just came out literally by the time I was like 5 or 6 years old already buying music. And so I was enamored in like music and always wanted to be honest, I didn't know what I wanted to do at first. And then it came to a point in my life I was like I was building networking with these artists, meeting them when they started off, and I was like, okay, well, I just can't keep meeting them. What, like, I got to do something. And so I was like, well, why don't I interview them? And then I went to broadcasting school. I was like, well, hey, I have a lot of connections already, so it can't be that hard if I built these connections for the past 5 to 10 years and then have a broadcasting degree and kind of put the two and two together. It'll be easy, not easy, but easier to get some interviews just to build that resume. And then once I started doing it, I was like, okay, this ain't bad. But the only thing I will say, it's hard to keep the momentum of artists when you have like a huge artist, and then everyone's kind of looking for you to have like a art like huge artist. I'm like, yeah, that's not always going to happen. It's just not. So that's like a struggle, especially when you're independent. When you don't have a major network, anything like that, it's tough. But yeah, that's kind of how I got started, to be honest. It was never I had 100% plan. I wish I did, to be honest, like when I was younger, but I just didn't really know until in my what was it, like early 20s. I really was like, okay, let's focus. It can't be that hard. If they could do it, I could do it. And yeah.
Now, so when you are working these red carpet events,
Mhm.
so okay, so we hear a lot of like horror stories of things that happen on red carpet, and like if you're not mainstream, like a mainstream media, that they don't take you seriously, or if
Yep.
you're of color, and you being a Latino man, that you're also not taken seriously. Like, so have you had to face any problems like that with? Can you talk
Oh,
to us about that?
yeah. I was actually I was in LA. One of the first big red carpets was at the Kodak Theater. I don't know if it's called the Kodak Theater, the one on Hollywood Boulevard, the huge one that the Oscars are at,
Mm.
all of that. It was the American Influencer Awards, and Sweetie was performing. Was the performer that night? I remember like Tyra Banks was the host. Kim Kardashian was the special surprise guest. It was a whole bunch of. I mean, it wasn't the biggest award show, but it still had a huge like where it was. I was like, okay, there has to be some kind of budget. And this whole red carpet is the whole entire Hollywood Boulevard. Where the Hollywood Walk of Fame and all that. So yeah, literally, I did not interview one person. Stood there with a mic. The publicist literally brought them to every major outlet and skipped every independent outlet.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, and it blew my mind. Actually, that wasn't the first one. The second one was at the Beverly Hills Hilton, actually, in the lobby. It was Avril Lavigne, Mario Lopez. It was some charity, and it was 3 independent outlets, and me being one of them. And all major outlets, us 3 weren't given nothing. Everyone else was getting everything. We couldn't even get photos with them. We couldn't even take photos barely of them. We could only take photos of them posing for the major outlets.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a real, it's a real thing. Like, and it's literally still to this day I hear so much.
So how do you counter react that? Do you just get in there and kind of like, hey, I'm here, or like?
I don't like to step on too many toes, just because the fact you don't know who they know, and this industry is so small. But what I like to do is I kind of like to prove them wrong. May not be this year, may not be next year, may not be in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, where they see me somewhere else and like, and I could bring it up to them like, oh, hey, remember, when you allowed me access, but didn't give me nothing. Basically wasted my time for 5 hours standing on a red carpet to literally look at people that I could have just watched on YouTube, or on IG. It's real. And that's why I prefer to do sit-down interviews. At least what sit-down interviews, even if it is 5 or 10 minutes, not a long amount of time, at least you have that artist's attention. You set it up through either the management, publicist, record label, production company, something of that sort. At least you have it. Whereas a red carpet, if you're not backed by a major outlet or with a major outlet, it's kind of up in the air. Unless you know an artist and they come to you and like, oh, hey, I know him, I want to speak to him. Otherwise, no. And they don't. It's just like whatever. They totally ignore you. It's not even. It's kind of like you're almost not there. They have your name down on, how the red carpets, they have each outlet's name. Have your name there, like no problem. Like you're one of the rest. But yeah, it's
wow. And I want to actually ask you, like, actually hearing that's surprising, but it's good that you continue to keep on moving forward. So my next question with that is like, with the relationships that you have developed, throughout working in this entertainment industry, how do you separate yourself from the paparazzi? And when I say that, like when I look at a lot of your pictures, it looks as if people willingly take pictures with you, whereas with paparazzi, they are, hunting people down for pictures. So how did you overcome everything you said, and then got to the point where you were able to build these relationships with these celebrities?
Yeah, so building relationship with celebrities, I always felt like I never want to be paparazzi. I'm not just going to take a photo of you just to take a photo of you, unless it's a red carpet of something where they're working to get photographed. That I understand, you take photos, but anything like outside where you're kind of in a more not a personal setting, but in a way a personal setting where they may not necessarily want to be photographed, I don't ever want to be known as, paparazzi. And that's why if you notice all my photos, it's nothing like I'm so much taking of them. It's always either me in there with their permission, or I will not. I've been around so many artists that I could have been, had my phone on record or just snapping photos on my phone, like against my chest, trying to be slick. But I just don't think it's worth it. And I've known so many people that have built relationships with these artists and burned them because of, trying to sell to a tabloid, or, gossip about them, or spill some, info that's not out yet, just to get a quick, little 15 minutes of fame. Where I have built relationships with artists literally from when they were nobodies. So, like, for instance, I always bring up Rihanna. I met Rihanna when she was 17. I was 18. Upon the Replay just got released to radio. She was on a mall tour for 6 shows on this little stage with a little step and repeat behind her. And we just connected. Not like we were best friends, but like she peeped me. I went to the show and she was like, I don't know, it's just something. Then ever since then, people would tell me, why are you going for someone that's a nobody? And I was like, well, what does it matter to you? And now it's funny because the people that used to tell me that are like, yo, so like when Rihanna comes back, does she have meet and greets? I'm like, no. Well, how do you get backstage? I'm like, because I know her. It's not a meet and greet. It's friends and family. It's, meet and greets are for more strangers and record labels execs and, industry people that know her but don't really know her. It's more of an acquaintance. Whereas friends and family, you meet her regardless of a meet and greet. A meet and greet is kind of like a job in a way, a meet and greet. Whereas going backstage just to go hang backstage is different. So, that's why I always try to do same thing with Ashanti. Same thing. Met her back in 2005.
Wow.
And every time, her and her mom Tina, she don't play.
I
love Tina, and I love Tina for that, because she's the one that's like really structured and the momager, and really keeps it business. But like they always look out for me. They're like, oh, Nick's here, like come on, oh Gail, oh come on, Nick, you good, and just building that relationship. And it's funny because Ashanti is now kind of like back in her game. So it's cool to see people like all up on her again. I'm like, oh, now you all want to support her because, everyone's talking about Ashanti. You know how artists go, their highs and lows. Yeah, their ups and their downs of, and now I feel like back on it, just her look and her whole vibe. So, that's really, I never want to feel, I've been offered money for stories. I have been. And I've never taken it because I feel like you could take that and maybe it is $10,000. Yeah, it's a lot of money for a second, but $10,000 is not going to last you more than, to me, that wouldn't last me more than 2-3 months the way I spend money. So, it'd have to be, and even if it was, I'm just, my parents taught me too well where if it's on my conscience, I couldn't.
I was going to say your morals what you do it.
Ooh. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I just, it's not a part of how I was brought up. I feel like if I did that, I would end up admitting it and feeling bad. That's just me. And kind of like how Wendy Williams always said, I don't want to become too close to friends because I have to talk about them, and there's a difference. There's certain people that want to keep it like how Wendy said, because they need to talk about them for business. Where me, I don't do too much of the gossip stuff. Don't get me wrong. I love hearing it. I love watching it.
Right.
It's part of pop culture and entertainment news, but it's not really my thing of my brand, I guess I would say. So that never really gets in the way. And it's just, there's ways to build relationships without knowing anyone to get you to know that person. You can make genuine relationships. It takes time. It takes years, but it happens.
Well, speaking of, gossip, now I will say, Gallo, I love you. And I, Gallo, I'm trying to get a little bit better, but I am the queen.
But that's why you're Queen Sharon. Yeah, you can't.
I'm the queen.
That's you though.
But I have to, Gallo. That's why I cover the mess, so you don't have to stress.
And that's why I watch you, so I could be stress free, and you could be the mess. That's why I'm saying everyone has their position, and you know your position. That's what I like about certain outlets and certain reporters or hosts, because you got to understand you can't do everything.
Right.
It's really not. And if you do try to do everything, I feel in the entertainment, like you're trying to be messy, and trying to be best friends with them, or trying to do everything and whatnot, it's never going to work. And everyone has to know their lane, So I appreciate that.
I think there's levels to it too, because like I'm messy and I have to report on it, so I'm kind of like the bad guy, so to speak, a lot of times. But you also build relationships that that's something I'll never touch. Like my relationship with Jason Lee. You're never going to hear me say a story on him. You're never going to hear about his personal business. Nothing's ever going to be leaked about him. You're never going to get anything out of me about Jason. It just won't happen. Because
exactly.
That's a true, genuine relationship. I have to, it's a job to report on everything else and cover it, because people do want to know what's going on. But I do feel as though those relationships that you build that are strong, you don't tarnish those. It's just that I know I can't be friends with close with everybody, because then I can't do my job, So I definitely understand and get what you're saying. So my next question for you would be, because I know you're not messy, so let me just see if I can get a little bit of juiciness from you. A little bit of juiciness. Now, so I know with dealing with celebrities, sometimes you may have a diva moment or a shady moment. Have you ever had any of those moments dealing with celebrities? Now, you don't have to say any names or anything like that, but any shady moment or maybe a diva-ish moment from a celebrity towards
artists towards me? Oh yeah, a couple. And I'll tell you names. I have no problem.
Oh, good job.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'll never forget the first time I met Ludacris. We literally were arguing for almost 5 minutes.
Wow.
He called me an eBayer. And I was like, an eBayer? I asked you for a photo? And I asked you to sign my CD covers. Because before, in the beginning, I used to collect CD. I always bought CDs. Like I was telling, I was a big music head. And if I met them, I would have him sign it at first.
Right.
And he was like, no. And his publicist was actually apologizing to me. And I was just like, Luda, are you for real? Like,
right.
Like, it's not like I have random unauthorized or unofficial merchandise. This is your seat. I'm like, you could put my name on all of them. You could put 2 Nick or 2 Gallo, Ludacris. No, you nothing but an eBayer. And I was like, well, if you don't want to sign my, can I just get a photo? Nah. You ain't getting none of that. I was like, and I'm one-on-one. I could see if it was, 25, 30, maybe 100 people around us where it's, it's chaos and it's security reasons. And then the funny thing was, so fast forward about 2 to 3 months after that, it was the Release Therapy album, that song with Mary J. Blige. She had Runaway Love. It was on that album. He had an autograph signing at Virgin Megastore, and I go up to him, and he wasn't taking pictures with no one. But there was only like, I guess they expected for a huge amount of people to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was less than 100, and people were everyone went through the line already and got their autographs, and he finally signed all my stuff. So but he wouldn't take pictures. So then everyone starts kind of saying, like, just standing around, like, come on, Luda, just take photos. No one's even in line. Like, come on, like, are you for real, bro? Like, it's not like you're in a rush. It's not like there's 1,000 people outside and you have to get to all of them. That I would understand.
Right.
And then he's like, okay, everyone, get back in line. We'll take photos. And then I brought it up to him about what happened, and he told me sorry.
Oh,
and he's
wow.
like, and he goes, I remember that day. He didn't necessarily remember me, but he remembered that day because I told him where it was at. He's like, yeah, I was having a bad morning. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, I appreciate it. And we took the photo. But that was one time.
Who else?
Christina Aguilera.
Really?
Was not nice. I'll never forget. I tried meeting her when she was on tour back in, what was this, 2007. And it was like me and a whole bunch of eBayers. And all I wanted was literally like a photo with and maybe like one autograph, like in like a CD cover. She signed for all the eBayers and ignored me. And I was like, really, Christina? Like, you're not, I don't know. I just felt, but I heard she's gotten nicer now. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, she'd have to, because her music's not popping. She's not doing it. You know, when celebrities feel like they're, or anybody feels like they're on top, and then they kind of have that, holier than thou attitude, and then something brings them back down and humbleizes them, and then they're like, oh, okay, now I'll be nicer. Now I'll
exactly.
Yeah,
knock them down back to reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the last one, which this was the dumbest story I ever want to tell, but it's so dumb I have to say it. So Tyrese was promoting a movie. He tweeted to his fans, hey guys, come and watch the movie with me at so-and-so. So I worked 3 blocks away in downtown Chicago from this movie theater. Mm-hmm. I told my boss, hey, I'm leaving early. I'm going to go meet Tyrese and go see his movie. So I knew there was a lot of people. So I was waiting, like, there's like escalators that go up. So I'm waiting there for him to get there because I already bought my ticket to the movie. I was like, well, I could get here. I know you probably won't take photos with everyone, but I want to meet Tyrese. Like, I'm a fan of Tyrese. I like his music. Like, I love Too Fast, Too Furious. Like, that's one of my favorite movies. So I was like, yo, I got to meet Tyrese. And he came in, and I go, yo, Tyrese, can I get a photo? I'm here for the screening. He goes, who are you? I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Who am I? And I go, I'm a fan. I'm a supporter. What? I'm like, you tweeted this out. It's not like it was private information or, that's different. I'm like, you tweeted this out to fans. Fans are upstairs. I bought he's like, why are you here? I was like, so then I'm the type of person, I'm like, you know what? If you're not going to do it, forget it. Like, I'm good. And I about to walk, he's like, no, we can take the photo. Then he finally took the photo. And I was just like, hold on, you did all of that? And then you took the photo? So I'm just like, it was just super, even in the photo, it's an awkward.
It almost feels like he wanted you to beg.
Yeah, like, and I'm not going to beg you.
Still important,
Yeah, like, you're a person, we're all people. We bleed, we die, we get sick. It's all the same. We're all human. I'm not going to beg someone for a photo that you told fans to come to. So obviously you put this as a work event or something you knew you were getting paid for to promote it or, bring fans out and tell them to come support it. So anytime, especially something like that, I'm like, this is a work event. So why aren't you doing what normal work fan events you would do? Mm-hmm. So those are the 3 huge ones that really, I was just like, and it was disheartening too. There's a couple more people, but it was more like not on public events, but there's a lot of people, I guess, in this industry that are like comedians and funny, that when you meet them, they're totally not that.
Right. I've heard that before.
A lot of comedians. Like, And see, but people tell me like, well, Nick, they're human, and I go, I understand everyone's human, because one person I'll bring up as an example that was super nice and one of the most hilarious people I ever, and both of you I know are gonna know, Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
God rest his soul. One of the most funny people I've grown up to and still love to this day.
Right.
And in person, he's super quiet, but not quiet in a mean way, just quiet, like, reserved. But when the cameras go on and he's on stage, he lights up. But still, he took pictures with every single person, signed every single autograph, and he's Robin Williams.
Right.
Like that's a legend when we were young, and till this day, that's an icon.
Icon, right?
Yeah, opposed to some of these people, I'm just like, yo, you're not even halfway to a legend, and you're acting like this. Like,
right.
So, but a lot of comedians, though, that always blew my mind, especially when you meet people that you think are going to be amazing, and they're horrible, and vice versa. And there's some people you think are going to be horrible. Like I met Victoria Beckham from the Spice Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Posh Spice. I thought she would be super like stuck up and one of the sweetest people I ever met in my life. Like stood there with me, talked to me, spoke to me, and I was like kind of in awe, because I was like, yo, you're cool. She's like, yeah, just because I don't smile doesn't mean. I go, I guess it's just the perception, of what the world gives, or you think in your head. So yeah, but those are the three worst ones I ever had. Ever since then, I haven't had any recently. But yeah, those, I don't care about saying the names because they did it.
Well, I mean, Gallo, the thing is like, look, now you know Queen Sharon. Okay, I'm a professional reader. Okay, anybody, because now we're friends. It's official now. We're friends now, Gallo. Anybody that fucks with Gallo, I will get their ass. You let me know, because I was about to tell Christina Aguilera she better hop her ass back in that bottle real quick,
right?
Real quick.
That's how I felt, and I'm just. But what's so funny that I looked at, especially Luda and Christina, after those albums, no album popped again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's funny. I'm not saying I was the, but I'm just saying how like you notice things and
right.
And you're just
the
like,
universe has a way of coming back around, and I've always said karma. What you put out is what you get back. So one way or another, it's going to come back. And it's so funny because I don't know if you ever seen the movie Hustle and Flow, but Luda, you should have got some clue from that. You got your ass beat for taking somebody's tape and then throwing it in the toilet and pissing on it. You got your ass beat. Yeah. You the reason why it's hard out here for him.
And even on even to piggyback off of that, like no telling how many other people they did that too, that they acted that way towards. So it probably was like a domino effect where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna humble you real quick, since you don't know how to appreciate your fame and you don't know how to give people the time to just be in your space, and again, nobody's asking to hang with you or whatever, but a quick picture, especially if you're doing nothing, like it's nothing wrong with that. And with Christina Aguilera, trust me, like if she thinks she dirty, don't let Queen Sharon fucking be her. Trust me, yeah.
And I could see too, if I was like a crazy fan, screaming or running after you. I don't do that. I'm very like, hey, I'm a big fan. Can I get a photo with you, please? Like, I'm very respectful. I'm not running up on you. Also, I'll give you one last. This wasn't really a mean thing. It was more of a. Maybe they were tired. I understood it. Someone told me that back when Empire shot in Chicago, it was based in New York, but it was shot all in Chicago. So you had Terrence Howard here, Taraji, Jussie, Yaz, everyone was here. So I'll never forget. Someone tipped me off and saying like, "Hey, the whole cast is flying in right now. They're going to be arriving the next like hour at the airport." So I was like, oh, I really would love a photo with Taraji, because I'm a huge Taraji fan, way before Empire. Like when she was still, like Baby Boy, Hair Show.
Yeah.
I love her in Hair Show and Baby Boy. That's two of my favorite movies, especially Hair Show. And people don't even know what movie that is, to be honest. And I got there. I met everyone. Taraji was cool. Jussie was cool. Yaz was everyone. Terrence, I forgot his name, the other brother, but not Terrence. I forgot the other brother. Then Terrence Howard came
EJ
out.
Andre.
Yeah, him. Yes. So then Terrence Howard came out, and everyone just stopped for a photo right away, took it, and moved on. You know, they went, got their luggage, and went home. So Terrence was with his wife, and I go, "Yo, Terrence," and I already met Terrence before, so it wasn't even a big deal. He was just there, so I was like, "Hey, why not do it?" And he goes, I go, "Hey, can I get a photo with you?" He goes, "Well, you have to walk with me. If you can't walk with me and take it, I'm not going to do it." And I said, "Oh, that's great. Have a good night. You know, God bless." And he looked at me, and him and his wife both turned. They're like, "Hold on, so you don't want a photo?" I go, "I'm not gonna walk with you because you don't want to stop for a photo. If you don't want to stop, that's fine. That's what I'm telling you. You know, have a good night." And she's like, "No, no, no, no. He wants to take a photo with you." I was like, "But I'm not walking with you." So I guess they were kind of so used to people being like, "Okay, yeah, I'll walk with you and hurry up and take this, you know, selfie photo." And I'm like, "I'm not doing that. Like, I'm a grown man. You're a grown man. Let's just take this photo, get it over and done with, and move on." And then like he felt bad. The wife took my camera, took our photo then, and I'll never forget that. And it wasn't like he was being mean. I understood he's probably tired from a long flight. I get it. But everyone else did it, and I think it just kind of shocked both of them because they expected like for me just to be like, "Okay, yeah." So yeah, that was another type of encounter.
Can I say this real quick? What is up with these people from the movie of Hustle and Flow, like Queen Sharon just brought up? Like from Terrence Howard being in that movie, then Ludacris. It's like something with that cast you just wasn't gelling with at all. But and it
Yeah,
also gets back to the point of you saying you're not a paparazzi. So I'm not about to sit here and follow you like a paparazzi. So if you don't want to take the picture genuinely, then I commend you
yeah.
for that because other people probably wouldn't have did that.
No, they would took photos of them or tried. He's like, "Oh my god, I just seen." No, that's not important to me. Like, I don't care to take. That's why there's paparazzi. They take the photos like that. I'm not a paparazzi, so I'm
And
not
see,
going to do that.
I think too, and I connect with you on that, Gallo, because for me, I can sit there and be like, "Oh my gosh, like Mariah Carey is amazing." That's because I think that her talent is amazing. That's
Mm-hmm.
because she gave me songs that resonate throughout my childhood. That and
Yep.
you know, and I respect that. But I've never been that person. You know, like I was at a party with all the celebrities. I've never been. I mean, Floyd was literally like right there. I've never
Exactly.
been that person to be like, "Oh, can I speak to you? Can I?" You know, I just have never been that person because I feel like we're all human. You bleed the same
Exactly.
blood that I bleed. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, one day you may need a blood transfusion, and it may be me that has to give it to you. You know,
Exactly. You
you know,
never
and so
know.
right. And so I definitely agree with you on that. I definitely you can sit there and be happy and excited for a person, like, "Oh my gosh, I love you, your music is amazing." But not doing I'm not gonna do the flips and backward flips. I'm with you. I wouldn't have ran with him in the airport. No, sir.
No. For instance, I'll give another thing that I've done. My first party in LA was for it was Ashanti's party. She invited me, so through Ashanti, so I knew, but I knew there would be celebrity. It was at the Hollywood Roosevelt in the pool. It was for that brand. Was it Fashion? No, I forgot what brand it was with. But for instance, I remember Jason Lee was there with Tiffany Haddish. I didn't go up to them. Tiffany was literally right next to me at the bar getting a drink with me. I didn't say nothing. I literally waited to the end, and I didn't even say anything to Tiffany. I just said, "Yo, Jason, I respect your hustle. I respect your hustle and grind." Shook his hand. That's it. Like, just wanted to tell him. I didn't want to have a conversation. I wasn't looking for no, even with Tiffany. Tiffany, that's when I think Girls Trip just came out or
Mm,
just blew up. So everyone was, trying to get photos with her at the party. I'm like, yo, just leave her alone. Like, this is a party. This is not, this is just chill, people. Just relax. Like, I think she was getting her hair braided because they had braiders there, and she was getting like some different colors in her hair. I'm like, leave her alone. She's drinking, getting her hair
right.
braided. Let her vibe. I think Little Pump was performing on the pool, and it was just a vibe. I was just there taking it all in, like how you were saying, Queen Sharon. Like, you just take it all in. You're like,
Mhm.
yo, this is dope. Like, and that's how it is at these parties. You don't take a picture or necessarily recording no, you don't do that. Like,
Mhm.
you just in it for the moment and the experience. And I miss it where the days, before cameras and video phones,
Right.
where you had to be there to experience it and, live in it. And just if you weren't there, you didn't know.
Right.
And that's it. So
That's good. That those right there, those are wonderful stories and everything. And it just goes to show again, like the integrity that you have within yourself, because you're not, number one, I could tell from talking to you that you're not willing to sell your soul for anything. And you
no.
understand that these celebrities are humans. And a lot of people don't understand that, because a lot of people do put some of them on the pedestal. And while you can do that, you still have to acknowledge that they are a human. And I
Yes.
wanted to go back to what you were saying about the comedians, because I know that you were actually on the Steve Harvey's talk show. If Raekwon has that picture right there, he could pull that up. You were on the Steve Harvey talk show, and I want to ask you, you said sometimes comedians are not the best. How was it interacting with Steve Harvey, and how did that opportunity come about?
To be honest, Steve was amazing. I was so happy he was amazing too, because he's someone I still look up to and looked up to before I even met him on those terms. Amazing experience, even to the point where so all of Steve Harvey's shows are not live. Everything is pre-recorded. He let me record the host segment on my phone. That is like daytime television, nighttime television 101. You're not allowed to record anything until it's aired. And he was like, no. He's like, I brought my selfie stick. His person held it up and recorded my phone on the selfie stick, even though I knew it was getting professionally recorded.
Mm-hmm.
He allowed that. The opportunity came to me. Actually, it wasn't planned. It was, this is still when Steve Harvey was filming in Chicago before he left to LA to film. There was this person that was a Facebook friend. You know how Facebook friends are. They're not really all your friends. More of them are acquaintances or people you kind of look up to. And you're just like, yo, I want to just watch, or see their. It was a producer, which I didn't even know they were a producer for Steve Harvey. And he put something like, hey, is there any local Chicago like entertainment people that would like to do something dope? And I messaged him. I was like, well, I'm an independent outlet. I do interviews with celebrities. I would love to interview Steve on his show. And he was like, why didn't you ever tell me this? I was like, tell you what? So why didn't you tell me you did this? I was like, I don't like to, I like my work to speak for itself. If you don't see it, that's fine. When you do see it, hopefully you check it out and you respect me. That's all I'm not going to push it in your face. I'm not going to make you try to read something or watch an interview just because I want you to. And he literally was like, okay, we're going to set it up. And it's nerve-wracking though. That was, because like you have to put it like this. When that happened, at first it was going to be, the Ask Steve segment. It's usually like two to four people usually ask on an episode, depending on time-wise. So they have like 6 of us ready. And they tell us like only 2 to 3 of you are going to make it. I was like, well, hold on, you got me here for all this for this? Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. Then they're like, okay, we're going to have you ask Steve to do an interview, and then you're going to do it off camera on your own terms. I was like, okay, cool. So then they're like, oh, no, scrap that. This is like maybe 2 hours before. They're like, scrap all of that. We're going to have you interview him live on camera with your own questions. I was like, okay, so I'm literally getting like they're putting foundation on me for, camera, and I'm writing all the questions down. So I give it to them an hour before. So they're like, okay, great. These questions are great. Then literally not even 45 minutes before, they're like, scrap that. We're going to do rapid fire, and we're making them up. We're going to give them to you. Remember them, or somehow remember them, as well as you got to remember this whole paragraph and a half of when you say, hey, Steve. Huh? So I'm literally like, yo, I have to remember all. They're like, yeah, and remember it as like you're not reading off of, like you know how you can read off of something but remember it and it sounds straight, like you're just reading off of something. Right. So you have to look at him while saying this whole paragraph and a half in your head without sounding like, sounding organic, and so it was a lot. And then I was sweating, and I was like, oh my god, this makeup's gonna, because camera lights in huge studios, you die in there. So I'm like, Jesus, I'm like, just please just be with me. Don't let me forget. Don't let me stutter. Don't let me mess up a word. Like, so, and then the other thing is, like I said, they had so many of us and they said only 2 to 3 of us would make it to the live edit. So then I'm like, you're kidding me. So I may not even make it. Thank God I made it. And yeah, and yeah, that's how it was. But it was nerve wracking. I'm so thankful and grateful for it and the opportunity, but the preparation and the last minute changes, because that's television and entertainment. Like those producers, they're just like, no, this is gonna work. Remember this in 5 minutes. Or luckily they liked my outfit, because everyone else, I remember, they were like, yeah, you look bad. We'll get you in something else. So they were like, Nick, we like your style. I was like, beautiful. They're like, you have good style. Like the stylist and the wardrobe person was like, good style, good hair. They're like, we'll put some foundation on you, make you a perfect tone. I was like, okay, cool. Like, you don't have to change. I was like, I don't want to change, so I'm very happy about that. And yeah, it worked. It's funny though how they edit it, because if you watch the version I posted on my page, he did it twice with me, but he answered differently the second time. Whereas when they show the final edit, it was just one time, and they like put different pieces in. So it's always fun to see, what the final version will be.
Right.
And it was like a month later. It wasn't aired until like a whole month, and I think a month and a half later, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
I was happy for it.
If anything, that should be even more reassurance that you are definitely in your element and doing what you were made to do. To do that, I don't know if I would even be able to get up there and be like a whole paragraph and this, that, and the other, and I, every day when we're doing, Jason's show, I'm behind scenes and he's going over the topics, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's moving on to the next topic. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then I got to get up there and not be like, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is.
Yes.
And just let it flow.
So how it is.
It's much harder than people think it is. They think it's easy to just get on the camera and just boom, turn it up.
Or they see the final product. They see the final product. They're like, oh my God, that's so easy. I want to do it. I was like, you have no idea.
Right. You have
it's so much, like Queen Sharon said, like, because Sharon actually has a segment on that show, whereas I've showed him enough times, and he likes me on there and everything, but it's like we don't get none of the topics ahead of time. You literally have to watch the show, come up with what you're going to say, watch the show, like literally try to do all that in one and everything. And it's humbling. And when you do see the final product, it's like, wow, I did that. But if they only know how nervous I am, every day I'm nervous when I'm on there. I may not look like it, but I'm nervous all the time on there. So trust me, I get it to a certain extent.
And I feel like that's good though. I feel like you need those nerves. If you don't have them nerves, I feel like you're not excited because you want to do so great. And I always tell people, they're like, I'm not nervous. I'm like, if you're not nervous, you're probably not really, this ain't really for you. Right. Because like that I think you need those bad nerves where it kind of almost makes you sometimes do better. Or
I was gonna say that, Gallo. I was gonna say, because the excitement, I get excitement nerves, because then it's
like adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's an adrenaline rush, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I'm just doing an outline and remembering everything in my head, like do. So I just glance, and then I have to remember, and then hit it, and then come up with off the top of my head a punchline, or a read or something like that. But then when it's all done, I'm like, whew, I'm a little lightheaded.
Well, yeah, that's how it is too with interviews. People think I do interviews, and I'm the type of person, I like to do my research. I can't stand that all these big outlets host these interviews and they have no real knowledge of the person, and it's the same basic questions that every other outlet is used already. And myself, I'll research like a whole week. I'll watch every single recent YouTube video they do, and I'll do bullet points. And I'm huge on, I hate, like, where is it? I'm trying to see if I have it. Do I? Oh yeah, I actually do. I'll show you both. I have this. Like, this is an old interview, but like just bullet points, and people don't get it. They're like, you write out all your questions? I was like, no, I would not write. What am I going to write out every question? Hi, do you think?
Right.
No, you're not going to. You want to seem organic. And,
Right.
that takes a lot of time. And that's kind of, I had to learn that because I watched my first interview I did, my
Mhm.
first interview that was recorded with Jennifer Hudson. I cringe watching it because I'm looking down at my, like, looking up. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
And we,
oh,
and we critique ourselves the worst. We critique ourselves the
yes.
worst.
I like it. It kills me. I'm just like, oh my God, the lighting's not even the greatest. Like, I'm huge on lighting. Like, the audio isn't perfect. I have like, my videographer laughs at me, and every photographer I bring along, they're like, Nick, you want your stuff to be perfect. I was like, well, it should be. I'm like, that's part of your brand. That's part of, like, but you Photoshop or you do fix it. I'm like, yeah, and so does everyone else in pictures. So why not? I'm like, you think every photo on Instagram is not Photoshop from every major artist or
Right.
entertainment reporter or host? That's all part of the game. You don't post any photo just that's unedited. I go through about 3 to 4 different apps before a photo is ever posted. And I'm very honest about it. I have no problem saying that. I'll make my teeth whiter. I'll have a perfect tan. Face may be a little slimmer or slender. It's part of the game. And I'm just a perfectionist. So like and that's why I'm kind of, it's hard for me. Like, I've tried to have interns, but no, everyone has a motive that is not known, but they think I don't know, but I peep it, and I'm like, yeah, you done. Yeah. And then you have the people that always want to go to the parties. Oh, well, could I go to the parties with you? No.
Right.
Well, why not? I'm like, because you write for my site. That's all you're doing. You're not, like, and most of those parties, you only get like a +1 or sometimes just myself. Like, you
Right.
don't get to invite just because you have a team of 10. You means you can invite 10 people. No, it doesn't. But you know how people are, especially this new generation.
Right.
Entitlement is a huge thing, which I don't understand because I was always taught you work for what you want and nothing's ever given.
Right.
So if you want it, work for it or figure it out.
Right. And
So
then you have to be careful with that too, because having people that they have a hidden agenda, it's your brand. You've built your brand. Like you said, it's
mhm,
taken you years to build that brand. So say you do bring a +1 of somebody that has a hidden agenda, and they're doing stuff like maybe harassing the celebrities and trying to get
yeah,
this and doing it, distasteful and how you wouldn't do it. Well, they're attached to you. So that's your brand. So they're gonna associate that with Gallo.
exactly.
And that's going to tear your brand down. So, I mean, kudos to you and props to you for protecting your brand
Yeah, you
because you
have
damn well
to.
should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to. Like, because if you let too many people in, I don't even let some of my family to certain things because
Right.
I'm just like, yo, I don't know how you're gonna act. I don't know what you're gonna say. I'm
Mm,
like, that could ruin a relationship I've been building for over 10 years over you for 1 hour. No, we good. We're scrap that. I'm going alone. You win. Like, I'll
right.
never forget when I was living in LA, my mom and dad said, oh, hey, Jennifer Hudson has a show at so and so theater. And I was like, okay. I was like, what, you just want to go? And they're like, yeah, could you text her? And I was like, yeah, I'll text her. Like, I'll text her, I'll see what I could do. And I got them in. And my mom sent me their photo after. And then Jennifer texted me later. She's like, oh my God, your parents were amazing. I love them. So it's like, but see, because I wasn't there, it's just, you just never know. And I love
Right.
Jen and I love my parents, don't get me wrong, but you just never know. Like, my dad, he says some stuff. I told him, like, yo, if I ever make it as one of like Ryan Seacrest or Mario Lopez or that kind of, you know, fame, you sign in an NDA and you're not allowed to say anything
Right.
because he's the type of person, not saying like anything about me, he would just
Mhm.
commentate on stuff. I just know how my dad is. Like, my dad will talk to anyone if you're there with him.
Right. Well,
So
I know that we want your help with something with getting into this next segment, but before we do, I agree with everything that you said except for one thing There's one thing I disagree with you on, and I got to be honest with you. You just said it. You just said you told your dad, if I ever make it. No, you need to start saying when I make it.
I know I have a bad habit of that. Everyone
Yes.
tells me, I know, but I'm just so. See, the thing is, so many people tell me that, and they're like, Gallo, you already made it. You're making it. I'm like, I know, but I just, I don't know. I guess I get that from is I see so many people that are beneath me in a way that think they're bigger, and I'm just like, see, I can't be like that. But they'll be like, you know all these big artists, you know Rihanna, you should tell people you're her best friend. I'm like, but I'm not her best friend. They're like, yeah, but you could just say that. I'm like, no, but that's not a true statement.
Right.
They're like, yeah, but people will believe you. I'm like, no, that's just not me.
But when you make it is a true statement. When you have, the talent, you have the charisma that you have, Gallo, and you would not have made it this far. And I get you because I feel the same way. I get that all the time. I mean, you think I didn't hear it this weekend? Oh, you went to such and such. You were around this. You saw this. And I'm like, sweetheart, I haven't even touched the surface of where I'm trying to go. I have not. But I definitely believe in manifestation.
I just want to let you know, though, Queen Sharon, you look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
So beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You look amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. But I believe in manifestation. And I also believe in I'm not that. There's no other way I can say it, Gallo. I'm not a hating ass bitch. So when I see another person doing their thing, I have to give props where props are due.
But that's the hardest part, though, because there is so much hate. And it's the people that are your acquaintances that hate low key. And I never thought it would happen because a lot of people don't like me in my own city. I don't care who hears this, because I've made my own relationships. They can't stand that. They don't like that I didn't go through the middleman to get to, a major artist, or I needed them to set up the interview. No, I'll go to the source. I'll go, like, that's just how I am. Because I'm like, doesn't that make sense? Why would I go through a middleman when I could just go to the source?
Right.
I always thought that was easier, but in this industry, that is frowned upon a lot in certain ways. And I get it in certain circumstances, but in Chicago, entertainment really isn't the biggest thing anymore. So I'm like, hey, if I didn't make my own relationships, I wouldn't be as far as I am. So you kind of have to, but yeah, it's funny.
Well, it was a lot of stuff that went on this weekend. Not only did we have the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards, but we also had the BET Awards.
Yes, amazing.
Amazing. And it looks
one
like
of the best in a while.
Right. Yeah. And it looks like, we're finally coming off of COVID and kind of being able to shake things off a little bit and kind of get semi back to normal, So, so we have some looks that we want to get into, that we want to run, and we definitely want your opinion on them because we know you have a good eye and you're a fashionable guy. So we definitely want your opinion on them. We're not going to hold back, It's a safe place here. So let's talk. Let's go ahead and put up the first pick. What's the first pick that we have, Raekwon? Okay.
We see that and then take it down. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Not at all. Summer Walker better go to Winter Walker or something else. I don't know. There's one of the worst looks. I don't even know how someone would allow that. I just don't think. Not saying I don't care if it's you want to be a shock value, but if it's gonna be shock value, make it something dope like Little Kim when she had the boob out back in, the purple when Diana Ross, and Mary J. Blige were on stage with her, something like that. That and being pregnant, I don't know. It was
Jameer, leave your titty alone.
Yeah,
it's just something about this picture that's saying, look at me and want me while I have another man's baby in my stomach. That doesn't sit right with me. And it's funny because my nephew said, he was like, I don't mind looking at it. If it's there, I'm going to look at it. And this is a young man.
Any boy is going to look at it. Yeah.
He was like, but this leaves nothing to the imagination. He was like, y'all don't want us to look at you in this way, but then you wear stuff like this. He was like, I'm confused. Do you want us to look at you in that way? Or do you want us to not look at you? He was like, I'm not saying I'm not going to look at it, because of course, if it's there, I'm going to look at it, but cover up. And I'm like,
you know what shocks me too? That shocks me because how she always says she's socially awkward and doesn't want to do meet and greets with fans or be seen. But I'm like, you have that out there. If you didn't want to, that's shock value. That is
right.
going to get people talking. So obviously you say you don't want people talking. You're socially awkward in a way, but you showed that.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Breast milk just everywhere. I'm sorry. Just go ahead. Go ahead, Jameer.
No, you good, Queen. I'm about to say no. I was piggybacking on everything y'all was saying. It just brings the attention that you say you don't necessarily want. And it looked like she was supposed to be like, you know, when you go to Hawaii or whatever, and they got the little hula dancers or whatever. Like it seemed like that's what she was going for. If Raekwon could bring the picture back up just quickly one more time, it looked like that, you know.
Or the
like,
one you put on your dashboard of a car when it's shaking.
Yeah, that does the little hula.
The little hula. Yeah, that's what it reminds.
Yes, definitely. Now the hair was definitely slayed. You slayed the hair, Summer. You did.
Face up. She's beautiful. Beautiful
Gorgeous,
girl.
but
gorgeous.
The outfit was not working for us.
Yeah.
Okay, Raekwon, go ahead. Let's put the next picture up. Let's see who we got.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites. Sky Black, man, he guy-wise killed it. I think that was my favorite red carpet look for guys. And just because it's not done a lot like a light color, but it's still masculine, which I think is dope. Like it's just a good combo that I feel people don't really do. He killed it. I think that was the best look for a guy on the carpet.
Well, now see, Gallo, this is where this is where the messiness comes in a little bit for me. Now that nigga look fine as hell. I'm gonna tell you right now. And you see how he's leaning to the side, y'all. That means he got a big dick. You see how he leaning? That's big dick energy. So definitely one of my favorites on the red carpet. Definitely one of my favorites. Jameer, how you feeling? Woo! He just wore it so well. He just looks like he just and when a dude knows. Ooh, that's when you know his dick is even bigger. Go ahead, Jameer.
I think the suit is nice. I've definitely worn a similar color suit when I had, hosted a little local award show where I'm at, and I feel like it was a risk. Like Gallo said, it could either work or it won't. And I actually think the suit fitted him. It wasn't baggy. It wasn't too tight. It definitely fitted, just right. So I like that look. And then I agree, he was like the best guy because I don't really remember any other guys there. So I think that was a good look for sure.
Yeah. I actually messaged him about it, told him, I was like, yo, you killed that, bro, because that was a look.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Let him know that there's a queen. I'm just playing, Gallo. I'm married. I've been for 20 years.
I love it.
Okay, Raekwon, who do we got next? Okay.
I wasn't crazy about Holly's dress. I wasn't. No, I didn't really like the slit things on the waist. If it would just been all black, I would probably liked it. I just didn't like that. I think that, I don't know, it took away from me.
She needs a little bit more. It kind of just seems like it's straight.
You need more
hourglass look.
Exactly. You need more. Like if she would have had a girdle on, not a girdle, like the thing the girls wear
the bustier.
The bustier thing. Yeah. To make it really, really, maybe I would have liked it more, but I think you need like a certain kind of figure for that. I think she's a beautiful girl. Like I never take that away from her. It wasn't my favorite look of hers on this carpet.
Right. Well, I think the boobies look nice. The boobies were sitting great.
Exactly.
The hair was looking good, but I definitely understand what you're saying about the slits because it's just straight up and down. I did see the little V curve, so okay, Allie, you're doing your thing. I did see the little V. But yeah, I mean, definitely a beautiful girl, but I think the dress could have been a little bit more. Jameer, what do you think?
I actually agree with y'all, and I didn't really realize it until y'all said it. And I think she's in this, she's in that Little Mermaid character because it looked mermaidish or whatever, or it also looked like a performance outfit. You know, when they come out and then they just rip the bottom off and it's like a little leotard. Like that's what it looks like, and that's what I'm getting from it. So I agree with Nick. Like I think Halle is so beautiful. Like that's one of my crushes, but it's definitely not a best for me. You know, she looked it better. I don't know if you remember a previous award show where she had like a little pink little dress on. She looked at fire in that dress.
Yeah, she looked beautiful.
Yeah, she looked beautiful in that dress, but and I don't think the guy did much to compliment her. Maybe I'm just hating because you know.
And you know what I always think too with females, if you're gonna show your assets up here, you don't have to show nothing below. If you're showing your assets below, you don't have to show nothing on top. Like show one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she didn't need that side because you already had the cleavage out, and it looked amazing. Don't get me wrong, it looked beyond amazing. I appreciate it, but you know, I think it's just like too much both sides. Just you had the cleavage; it was a so low cut, it looked dope. It was presentable. It wasn't, you know, unclassy. It looked good. So certain things like that, I always look at a female.
Right. Okay, who we got next, Raekwon? I loved this. I loved it. I did. I thought that it really did accentuate her body to be a plus size woman. I love the low dip neckline. I love the headdress that she has on. That's giving me a like 60s type vibe. It just the whole everything. I loved it. I loved it.
I was neutral on this. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it because there's a lot of looks of hers I hate. And there's a lot of looks that I have loved. I'm just kind of like neutral. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best though. Just kind of it passed. I'll say that. But I think the color was beautiful.
Yeah, no, definitely. I actually did love that look on Lizzo, and I think the more and more that she's experimenting with her fashion and everything, that she's becoming, well, number one, let me say this, I always felt like she was comfortable, but now she's getting the right people that know how to work with her body. So there were times before where it's like, oh, I love your confidence, but you maybe shouldn't have wore that, you know. But it was like I love the confidence, whereas now I feel like she's getting the right people that know how to work with her body. Now I get what Gallo saying, it wasn't like wow, you know, but it was definitely something that looked good. I think it complemented her body really well, you know.
Right.
Yeah. I think she's one of the most beautiful girls too. She's so pretty.
Yeah, she was gorgeous. She was gorgeous. She was at the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards too. She was,
and beautiful. I loved what she had there. I love what she had on there.
And she was gorgeous. Skin was glowing from the stage.
She had that the blue outfit, right?
Yep. Okay, who do we got next, Raekwon? Kirk Franklin and his wife. Quite frankly, I'm tired of this nigga wearing these skinny ass pants, these tight ass pants. I'm sick of it. I mean, wife looks beautiful, but it doesn't really look like a BET red carpet. It kind of looks like I'm going to Sunday brunch to eat chicken and waffles. You know, not really feeling it like that. A little short, you know, to be Kirk Franklin's wife, if you ask me. Nah, I'm a pass on that. I think Kirk Franklin is still trying to act like he's 19. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I love Kirk's suit. I think that's dope. But like you said, you need to match. Like Kirk Franklin is a huge deal. You're his wife. So match what that looks like something you would buy at like, I don't know, TJ Maxx, like you said, and just kind of just, you know, and not saying it's ugly. It's just not red carpet, you know, ready. It's more like you said, brunch or like a random like dinner out on the town. It's nothing that says you're at the BT, you know, awards on one of the biggest carpets of the year.
That's not even a nighttime. We're going out to dinner and have a nice dinner type outfit. I mean,
yeah, it's more of a summer.
Yeah.
Like summer spring dress, like take a walk on the lake or something.
Exactly.
But his I thought was dope. I thought his was dope.
I think y'all giving her more credit than deserve. Look like, you know, something you would answer the door in, you know, like a little robe. You feel me? You know how they got those little fancy robes that they'll answer the door in. Like it's giving me kind of that type of vibe and everything. And Raekwon, can you put the picture up one more time? I got to see Kirk Franklin again. Let me see what I think. Yeah, it looked like a tracksuit, with a suit jacket. Like I'm digging the sneakers, but yeah, it looked like they didn't even coordinate. It looked like they just like met up. It was like, hey, you want to go to the BT Awards, and then just went. It wasn't like no thought put into it.
And can we just say, wait, can I just look at him real quick? Raekwon, put that up just real quick. Look at him real quick. Remember his face? Okay. Oh, does he not look like, gosh, I hate that I forgot his name, but the dad off of Friday, he passed away.
Oh my God. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes. John Witherspoon.
Yes.
Yeah, John Witherspoon.
Does he not look like him in that picture?
Yeah, he does. The way he's smiling, the way he's posed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're
Looks
so like a
just
younger
like-
version of John. Yep. It's so
Yeah.
funny you say that. Yeah, the pants could be a little altered. That's the only thing I would say with the pants are a little too fitting. Yeah. But I like the color. I think it's a dope choice and not the typical, dark.
Woo! Oh God.
Now this let me tell you something. This right here, this ain't Saucy Santana. This is Oscar the Grouch. Now, they done told us how to get to Sesame Street. Okay. Now, can you tell me how to get the hell out of that outfit? Because it is not giving. It is not giving. I'm sorry. Not the furry boots. It ain't even the same color green. And green is my favorite color. They fucked you up, Saucy. They set you up this year. Okay? They set you up this year. Disappointed. No. No.
Yeah. They could have had such a cool shoe or boot on him, especially being his first major red carpet event. Because really, Saucy has made such a huge name in the past like 3-4 months. I thought it would have been a little better. Just the shoes. I think the top was cool. He could have done something really dope with the suit, the jacket with. But yeah, them boots. No, that was.
I mean, I think they cinched the waist really well. The waist is really cinched very well. But I feel like he could have wore a closed toe pointy shoe with a heel on it and could have worked the hell out of that red carpet.
Yeah.
But the boots, I mean, it's just come on. We were in the Muppet Show.
It looks like two bodies put together from opposite.
Right.
That's what reminds me of. It
Right.
doesn't
it's not
match.
even the same color green. It's
yeah.
It's little kids sleepover meets. It's mommy went to work on a business trip. They don't go together.
Yeah.
I would just tell y'all, I hate it all. Wait, hold on. Go back real quick. I hate it all. Look like he's wearing like 2 pinatas as boots. That's number one. Always just go smack his legs and smack the candy out of him. Look like he just went in his grandma's closet and took out her wherever that is, her jacket. Ooh, I hope he got on stuff under that, because God forbid. Oh God, who is his friends? Who approved this outfit? No, it's terrible. It's terrible. I don't like it.
And Saucy, you still on my shit list for what you said about women. So until we have a conversation, you on my shit list. Okay? I'm a dog you every time I see you.
Now the next one, can I go first on the next one? Because I actually, Queen Sharon know about this one. Put up that picture again, Raekwon. Now, before y'all get y'all's out, I'm gonna say I actually like this look, and I'm gonna just tell y'all why I like this look. For me, Coi Leray is a trendsetter. That's the name of her album. I think she's a trendsetter, and even though it may not be the most popular thing to wear, I admire her confidence. I like the way it fits on her body. It's like that baggy look that, then don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's dressed like Aaliyah, but remember that baggy look that Aaliyah used to do back in the day. I love this look. This is actually one of my favorite looks, and this is one of the best I ever think she looked, honestly. Now I'll let y'all take over.
Jameer, I couldn't agree with you more on that, because I think this is giving me like Rihanna vibes. Like you said, Aaliyah inspired Rihanna. Rihanna is inspiring Coi Leray. And one thing I would say, Queen Sharon, hear me out. What I like what she did was, if you notice, Coi Leray has been known for being more the tomboyish look with the braids in, and more like baggy pants with like just like a baggy shirt. This got to see more of her feminine side and her hair just down. And I think her being a skinny girl, she could get away with wearing stuff like that. Like, you have to have the perfect body, and her not having a big chest, it made sense how with all the underboob, it worked. I appreciate it. I think she looked probably one of the best she's looked. I think, yeah, in a while. I think I really like the way or the vibe she's going for this new era and like this tour she's about to begin. I think it's a good look for her.
Go Queen.
Gotta take the glasses off.
Now I know y'all didn't put Aaliyah and Coi Leray in the same sentence. Okay. First of all, let's just say this. Okay. This outfit looks like Coi Leray went in Benzino's closet to play in his jackets. Okay. And then also went down the street to the homeless man and asked if she could play in his boots. Okay. Let me tell you something. While then passing a daycare and asking a toddler, can I borrow your shirt? That is what this looks like. Now the hair, I like the hair. It's a different look from the braids, even though I like her signature look of the braids. But I do not like the fit. I don't like it. And it's something about the fact that it's supposed to look like there's a shirt underneath, but there's really like no shirt underneath. It's like the outline of the shirt. It just looks like it's swallowing her up. And she has such a cute shape. I would like for her to show her shape off and you know, and really show something that accentuates her shape, you know, and she doesn't have to show it off and be super sexual, but I mean, you don't have to be super homeless either. This was an absolute complete no for me. The little teeny tiny heels look like if she leaned a little bit to the left, the bitch is gonna crack and fucking crack, fall off. This is horrible. This is horrible. I do not like it. This is so horrible. Give Benzino back his fucking jacket. Okay, Coi Leray, this was a strike in my book. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Oh, that's too funny. I love
it. Yeah, another picture, Raekwon.
Next, Raekwon.
I remember.
Okay, them with this, because we know, you know, Janelle Monáe likes to be referred to as them. So them, or they, or she likes to be referred to as they. Mm-hmm. So they, I actually like this. I think I like that it's see-through. And I like that it shows off the toneness of her body. Actually, I'm on the fence. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know if I like it because it's giving me a little bit like Halloween festival. I'm the Wicked Witch of the West. Come to my house and I'm dressed like this while I hand out a bowl of candy. It's not. You almost had me, Janelle, and it just changed. No, I don't like it. And it looks like the middle of it, I don't know what the fuck that is in the middle of it. It looks like, I don't know, something a first grader put together, maybe a rose or something. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Those look like the seat belts or maybe the belts that your mama used to whoop your ass with that you just put together and threw all over your body. And if I'm not mistaken, I think those are like latch hooks that are hooked into her. Damn, girl, they couldn't actually just sew the damn thing. Those look like latch hooks. You know what you get from AutoZone or Home Depot, something like that. Now I'm not feeling it. Wait, and is that a thong? Somebody take the floor. Somebody take the floor.
No, it's a thong. I'll say this about Janelle Monáe. Because they are always, not always, but I guess in a lot of their looks, they have been more masculine looks, more like suit pants. It's cool to see them in something more feminine. So I appreciate it. Not saying it's the most extravagant or like, you know, big hit on the red carpet, but I appreciate them doing something different. And I really like that they had the gold hair to kind of complement like her golden tone. So yeah, I think they did good, Janelle. Yeah,
I think the hair is beautiful, and Janelle is a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. I'm just a harsh critic, you guys. I'm just a harsh critic. Sorry.
You good?
But I wasn't crazy about the look. It wasn't so much about the look. I think it was more about the femininity that they brought out.
Yeah, and I agree with Gallo on that one definitely, because if everybody remember in the beginning of their career,
remember?
Yeah, they had the little hairstyle, the little
in the front.
And it looked like they was wearing that same suit. The same suit looked like just went in the closet, dusted it off, and put it back on. So I can respect the the difference in her look. They look, I'm trying, and in the look, I can respect the difference in the look, and I agree with you with the hair. The hair did complement her skin tone. If you could put that picture up one more time, Raekwon, it definitely looked like the drapes off of, she took the drapes off the window or something and just wore it and got them to attach it to like a sports bra or whatever. So I don't know. I'm like with Queen Sharon. I'm really not feeling it, but I appreciate something other than a suit. But so for that, I would give it a okay.
Yeah, it's like a 5. It's in between. It's not horrible, but it's definitely not the best.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Who else we got, Raekwon? Okay. Now look, ain't even much to be said. Slayed it, killed it. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Jason is dressed down to the T as usual. I love the off-white. I love the glasses. His hair was moisturized. The shoes that we just learned last night is a pair of $4,000 shoes. The shoes are on point. Now I ain't buying no damn $4,000 shoes. It ain't in my motherfucking budget, but more power to Jason. You know what I'm saying? But wear them extra longer for me, Jason, because I'm not wearing no $4,000 shoes because that's my mortgage 2 months in a row. Tamar, the gold, I love it. I think it really accents her skin well. Her hair looked beautiful as usual. I think that they, complemented each other. And I mean, there's nothing more that I can say. 10, 10, 10, 10 all across the board.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Especially, I love that Jason did a light color, just like I was saying Sky Black did. I love the light, the off-white. It just looks clean. It's crisp. It's not. I'm happy he don't have no design on it. It's just a nice color. It complements his date, Tamar. It just works perfect. I think it was cool what he did. Tamar's dress, I think, is beautiful. I just love the whole Diana Ross. It brings you back to Diana Ross vibes with all the, diamond things, shiny things hanging off. She looked beautiful. Right. I think they both looked like a all-star couple for the BET Awards for sure.
Right.
I definitely agree with both of you all, and it actually, rings more when we learned last night that like he wasn't really invited to the BET Awards, so he was able to Tamar took him as a +1. So number one, like y'all both said, the light colors in Jason's suit. If Raekwon could put the picture back up, the light colors in his suit, it definitely complemented the damn, that's like a copper. That color she wearing, like that joint, it's just flowing off of her. It looked good. The shoes is good. The hair looked good. And I normally prefer Tamar Braxton with black hair, but this is one of the times where I'm like, you know what, the hair is perfect. Like the whole, I fuck with this whole thing. I'm not being biased. Like I really think this is a whole good look between both of them. Like Kirk Franklin and wife, this is how it's supposed to be done. It looked like they actually put some thought into this. It looked like they actually coordinated with each other, whereas with them two, it looked like they just, woke up one day and just picked out the first thing that was in their closet. So I could add a 10 for sure. Yeah.
And what I like too, like it's less is more, because you see Kirk's, his got more into it, where Jason don't need all of that, and it looks 10 times better. Like you don't need all that design or different stripes or, it just works. You don't need nothing.
Right. And you see Kirk Franklin's wife, if you would pay attention to Tamar, it does not look like she is going to answer the door because Uber Eats just delivered her dinner. No, she actually looks like she's stepping out on a red carpet, and the shoes are to die for. I don't know if y'all see those shoes.
Yes, the diamonds in the front. I was looking at them on her Instagram.
Gosh, that straps up. Those shoes are, and the straps are the same color as the dress and just ties the whole dress in together, ties the whole outfit in together. They nailed it on that one. And I don't know, Jason said he ain't gonna buy $4,000 shoes, but Jason, you looked good, nigga. You looked good. So shit, that was a nice looking outfit. That was a nice looking fit. So I think, is that all the looks that we have, Raekwon?
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Oh, my bad. That's right. He can't answer us. Well, That's gonna go down for one of the bloopers. Well,
Listen.
let me see. So, Gallo, we we really appreciate you coming through and doing this show for us and allowing us to pick your brain and interview you. And we are just truly appreciative of everything that the information, the knowledge you've dropped on us, the experiences that you've told us about. I really truly believe knowledge is power. So before you go, if you want to go ahead and plug yourself, let us know where we can find you at, anything that you're into or new things that you're doing.
Yeah, so everything social media wise, IG and Twitter is Gallo, the guy you know, abbreviated, so GTGYK. I know it's a tongue twister, but it's just Gallo, the guy you know, just the first letter of each word. Gallo, the guy you know, GTGYK, Instagram and Twitter. Website is GalloTheGuyYouKnow.com. And I think my Facebook page is at Gallo, the guy you know, which I wish I would have changed to the GTGYK, but it's too late now. And I just actually started a part of this new panel called Bro Chat. And it's reality television like Housewives, Love and Marriage, DC, kind of, yeah. I'm a reality TV junkie, and it's 4 of us, and we kind of critique different topics on it, and it's kind of building momentum, and yeah, it's pretty dope. I'm happy I took the opportunity, so that's something I'm excited about.
Awesome.
That is cool.
I'm a reality TV junkie too, so I get you. I understand.
Yeah.
Exactly. And can I ask this one thing before we get out of here, Queen Sharon? Raekwon, if you can just do a quick run through of some of the pictures that we've had provided of Gallo with the different, celebrities. We just printed out a few. We couldn't do all of them because we'd be here all day. But just some of the iconic people that he got pictures with. Wendy Williams, like come on, Wendy Williams. Who else we got?
Kanye West.
West.
I love Kanye. Oh, I love him.
Ashanti. Like what? Come on. What? Who that? Oh, that's Chloe before. Okay. Beyonce.
Oh, I look so young there. Ooh. Oh, that's from 2006.
Oh, 6. Wow, that was Ring the Alarm Beyonce.
Yeah, literally. That's right when B-Day got released.
Right.
Rihanna.
Oh, God.
Jameer, please. Okay. Come on. Calm it down, please. My gosh. Cardi B.
Oh, man. There we go. Barty.
Ariana Grande.
That was actually in Jennifer Hudson's dressing room.
Ooh,
that's funny.
Oh, wow.
That's a little tad bit at the Hairspray live taping in Universal Studios in LA. That was fun.
Wow. Listen, like Queen Sharon said, keep up the good work. We are watching, we are inspired, and hopefully I'm not gonna say hopefully this won't be the last time we speak, because like Queen Sharon said, we locked in now, so you might as well get used to us.
Oh, we're locked in. We're locked in.
You let me know whenever y'all need me. I'm down because I appreciate y'all, and I love both of your hustle. And I've been watching. I love watching other people that are hustling like me. I really do. And like I said, everyone has their niche. And I love watching just because there's space for all of us. Right. So many people think like, no, I could be the only one. No, there's enough room for every single person that wants this and is passionate about it. Like, I just love watching it and seeing your hustle, both of you. So I appreciate it.
If more people realize that, Gallo, we would get to stuff a lot easier because then we can help one another out instead of thinking, oh, I'm the only one that can be in this spot. No, somebody's put you in that mind frame to think that there's only one spot. There's actually a whole level playing field. And
it's unlimited.
And it's unlimited. And there's sections where people are playing on this field that do this profession, and people are playing on this field that do this profession. And guess what? We could all really help each other to achieve our goals. But it's like crabs in a bucket mentality, Yep. But when I say that we're locked in, we're locked in. We are 100% locked in. Believe that. I'm
gonna be. It was killing me. I couldn't be for BET weekend because, yeah, and Essence is coming up too. I'm not gonna be there for that either. But I'll be 1 year. I mean, I do usually go to BET weekend. So I was watching all that. I was like, oh, I was watching through all y'all. I was like, oh, I want to be there, but. It gives me anxiety being around everyone, but then it doesn't because you got to do it. And I love it after you see the outcome. Once you look back at your photos, You're like,
Right,
it was all
right.
worth it.
It was all worth it. It was all worth it.
Mhm.
It was all worth it. Well, Jameer, did you want to give your plug of where they could find you at? And
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, so you can actually follow me at Jameer, the way it's spelled on the screen, JERMIR 3 underscores, and of course you follow As the Culture Turns, where our content is placed. That's where our that's the name of our YouTube channel, so that's where our episode will be, and where clips of our Gag On It with Queen Shannon Jameer will be at. That's all.
all right, and you guys know that I'm Queen Sharon. You can catch me on IG at Royal Queen Sharon. You can also catch me on Bigo. My Bigo ID is Queen Sharon, and you can come over there and watch me on do shows over there. Also bringing some really interesting stuff to my Instagram page and YouTube channel coming soon. But you guys, we thank you guys so much for tuning in with us today. You guys can catch us every Thursday, Gag On It with Queen Sharon and Jameer. We thank you again, Gallo, for coming through.
Thank you.
And we love you, to all of the people that are watching, to all of the supporters. Don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys, and make sure you share. So remember, I cover the mess so you don't have to stress. That's all, guys. See you guys later.